Hello, everyone. This is James Jesso, host of Adventures Through the Mind podcast and YouTube channel. What you're about to see is a clip from my interview on Adeptus Psychonautica, another channel here on YouTube. Rob Bateman, who runs this channel, interviewed me for a show, and we talked about a number of different issues pertaining to psychedelics, psychedelic culture, psychedelic healing, such as the difference between community and culture, what it means to be a leader, yes or no, in a culture or in a community, as well as the role of psychedelics in grief and grieving. And he also asked me at the end, he asked me about enlightenment and what my thoughts were on enlightenment from the perspective of him feeling at odds with the sort of general representation of what enlightenment is inside of sort of the common psychedelic cultural discourse. And so this opens up with Rob premising why his question was being offered to me and my response to the question about enlightenment. This was a great interview, so head over to Rob's channel and check it out, and check out the rest of his channel. He's got excellent work. I'll leave a little card here in the video for you to jump over to Adeptus Psychonautica. And if you like this clip, if you like what I've got going on here at Adventures to the Mind, please be sure to subscribe to this channel here. Without much further ado, here is my clip from my interview with Rob Bateman talking about enlightenment. Enjoy.
I think the way I see it being used within the sort of psychedelic discourse is really as enlightenment is the end game. This is the end game, and you get there as fast as possible to, again, with the goal of zero suffering. This is, you launch your yacht onto calm seas, and then your feet are up, and it's like la 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 la, and life is golden after that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not convinced that's. I think this ties into this kind of this drive-through spirituality that I've talked about. I think that's not necessarily it. If there is a thing called enlightenment, then I see it as like this ongoing process, where I don't think there's ever actually the point where you just put your feet up and okay, that's it, I'm done, no more enlightenment required. So yeah, I see it as it's just a race, a race without an end goalpost. And that, I don't mean to make that sound as though it's something futile or not worth doing. I think it's a cliche, but the journey is kind of is where the magic happens, I think. Mm-hmm. I got a friend who had a sort of a good quote. It was enlightenment is the ongoing process of realizing how stupid you were 2 weeks ago. And I think that's a kind of amusing but sort of reasonable way of capturing the kind of the constant motion of it. So yeah, I think I'll definitely check out that author that you mentioned. It sounds like an interesting take on it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like enlightenment is a loaded term, so there's the Buddhist enlightenment, and isn't necessarily the enlightenment that isn't, Buddhist as in like specific Buddhist, like sect, I think is the word I'm looking for, that pocket of Buddhism, like Theravada Buddhism. They'll describe what enlightenment is. And as far as they're concerned, that is what it is. And according to Buddhism, that is what it is. But I think there's some sort of like fast and loose sort of like hodgepodging in modern culture, modern Western culture, modern Western, the dominant unculture of North America, you could say, or the Western world. Mm-hmm. That's just like a hodgepodge of stuff, and then throwing it together and being like, it's this, and then trying to apply it. And that very sort of like, it is the conquest. It is the conquest that is the arrival upon the ultimate. And that the sooner, the faster, the first, the better. I think that that's a distortion maybe, and a distortion that doesn't actually lead to a better life, or a richer life or a fuller life. If I thought of it, even going back to sexuality, if I said to you that the apex of the sexual experience is the orgasm, and the faster you can get there, the better your sex, okay, but then what about, and that the sooner you get there, the sooner you can be done, is basically like me saying like the best sex is the stuff that you get where you come quickly and never do it again, rather than recognizing it's a whole long journey in which we're in an intimate exchange with a life that is beyond us, that is comprised, of a person, but it's comprised of desires, wants, needs, boundaries, expectations, likes, unlikes, like that there's this complex being that we're in a relational dance with, and the journey together that we come through and wave through things that include orgasm, is the way in which we sort of encounter and explore and get to experience the richness of the sexual exchange, including perhaps, like love and romance and like deep bonded intimacy and all the rest, right? And that itself being a part of a larger system of relating with another person. And yet it's not necessarily another person. It's all of life and everyone and everything, not just people, that we are engaging with, that we are being, touched by, changed by, and that we are touching and changing in turn, and all the complexities that go around that. And to think that there's a one-shot place that we can go, and that the faster, the better we get there, the better we are in order to have achieved the goal of the human experience, I think it's a fallacy, and I think it's wrong. And I could be wrong, and I'm ready to be told that I'm wrong. I'm ready to disagree with people. I'm ready to be exposed for the fact that my thinking was wrong, and so I have to go back and readdress it. But that's my thoughts presently. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's an awesome analogy, and I'm probably going to have to steal that one from you, James.
Right. No citation needed. Please go for it.
Yeah.